Dark chocolate. This type contains the highest percentage of cocoa solids and cocoa butter, typically ranging from 50% to 90% or higher. The cacao beans are processed with minimal added sugar, allowing the natural bitter and complex flavors of the cocoa to dominate. Dark chocolate originated from the original way chocolate was consumed by ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, who drank it as a bitter beverage. The higher the cocoa percentage, the more intense and less sweet the flavor becomes. Milk chocolate. Created in 1875 by Swiss chocolatier Daniel Peter, this variety combines cocoa solids with milk powder or condensed milk and sugar. The addition of dairy creates a creamy, sweet flavor that appeals to a broader audience than dark chocolate. Milk chocolate typically contains between 10% to 50% cocoa solids. The milk proteins interact with the cocoa to produce a smoother texture and milder taste that has made it the most popular chocolate type worldwide. White chocolate. Despite its name, this confection contains no cocoa solids at all, only cocoa butter mixed with sugar and milk solids. It was first produced commercially by Nestlé in the 1930s. The absence of cocoa solids gives white chocolate its characteristic ivory color and sweet, vanilla-like flavor. Many chocolate purists debate whether it should even be called chocolate, since it lacks the defining cocoa solids that give chocolate its distinctive taste. Ruby chocolate. Introduced by Belgian-Swiss company Barry Callebaut in 2017, this is the newest recognized type of chocolate. Ruby chocolate gets its natural pink color and berry-like flavor from specially processed ruby cocoa beans grown in Ecuador, Brazil, and Thailand. The unique processing method preserves certain compounds in the beans that create the pink hue without adding any artificial colors or flavors. It offers a tangy, slightly sour taste profile that differs from all other chocolate types. Raw chocolate. This variety is made from unroasted cacao beans that are processed at temperatures below 118 degrees Fahrenheit to preserve the natural enzymes and nutrients. Raw chocolate maintains higher levels of antioxidants and minerals compared to conventionally processed chocolate. The flavor tends to be more bitter and earthy since the roasting process, which develops sweeter and more complex flavors, is eliminated. Health-conscious consumers often prefer raw chocolate for its nutritional benefits. Single-origin chocolate. This chocolate is made from cacao beans sourced from one specific geographic location, whether a single farm, region, or country. Single-origin chocolates allow consumers to taste the unique flavor characteristics that come from specific growing conditions, soil types, and local processing methods. Each origin produces distinct flavor notes, from the fruity profiles of Madagascar beans to the nutty characteristics of Venezuelan cacao. These chocolates are prized by connoisseurs for their unique terroir, couverture chocolate. This high-quality chocolate contains at least 35% cocoa solids and 31% cocoa butter, making it ideal for professional confectionery work. The high cocoa butter content gives couverture superior melting properties and a glossy finish when tempered correctly. Chocolatiers and pastry chefs prefer couverture for coating truffles, molding, and creating decorative elements because it produces a satisfying snap and smooth texture. The name comes from the French word meaning to cover. Bean-to-bar chocolate. This refers to chocolate made by companies that control every step of production, from sourcing the raw cacao beans to creating the finished chocolate bars. Bean-to-bar makers often work directly with cacao farmers and roast, grind, and refine the beans in small batches. This approach allows for greater quality control and unique flavor development. The movement has grown significantly since the early 2000s, as consumers seek more artisanal and ethically produced chocolate. Compound chocolate. This chocolate substitute replaces cocoa butter with vegetable fats, like palm oil or coconut oil. While less expensive to produce, compound chocolate has a different melting point and texture compared to real chocolate. It doesn't require tempering for molding and has a longer shelf life, making it popular for commercial baking and candy making. The taste is generally considered inferior to true chocolate, with a waxy mouthfeel and less complex flavor profile. Bittersweet chocolate. This dark chocolate variety typically contains 60% to 85% cocoa solids with added sugar, but no milk. Bittersweet chocolate strikes a balance between the intense bitterness of very dark chocolate and the sweetness that makes it palatable for most consumers. It's commonly used in baking because its flavor holds up well when combined with other ingredients. The term bittersweet reflects the complex interplay between the natural bitterness of cocoa and the added sweetness. Semi-sweet chocolate. Containing between 35% to 60% cocoa solids, this chocolate is sweeter than bittersweet, but still maintains a pronounced chocolate flavor. Semi-sweet chocolate became popular in American baking, particularly after Nestlé introduced chocolate chips in 1939. It's versatile enough for both eating and baking applications. The moderate cocoa content makes it approachable for those who find dark chocolate too intense, while still providing more complexity than milk chocolate. Drinking chocolate. This chocolate is specifically formulated to dissolve easily in hot milk or water, creating a rich beverage rather than being eaten solid. Unlike cocoa powder, drinking chocolate often contains added sugar and sometimes spices like cinnamon or vanilla. The tradition dates back to the Aztecs and Mayans, who consumed cacao as a frothy drink. European colonizers adapted the recipe by adding sugar and warming it, creating the hot chocolate we know today. Drinking chocolate typically has a higher fat content than regular eating chocolate to create a creamy texture when melted.